I think it's a very interesting update. I believe like they made this part of the developer announcements, and it's kind of for theirs because you can actually create like chatbots, build agents, connect them to chatbots, but still like it's kind of hard to use them if you're not a developer. They have some really cool stuff. Maybe others can build on this stuff, and so it's pretty cool stuff. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Demetri Panici, and I'm a content creator, agency owner, and AI enthusiast. You're listening to the AI Agents podcast, brought to you by Jotform, and featuring our very own CEO and founder, Aytekin. This is the show where artificial intelligence meets innovation, productivity, and the tools shaping the future of work. Enjoy the show. Hello and welcome back to another episode of the AI Agents podcast. In today's episode, Aytekin and I are going to break down a new update, a brand new update from OpenAI. We're really excited to chat about it. It is a part of their agent toolkit, their agent kit that they released a couple days ago. It is the AI Agent Builder. How are you doing, Aytekin? Are you excited to talk about this?
Yeah. I think it's a very interesting update. So they have a Dave, I believe, they made this part of the developer announcements, and it's kind of for theirs because you can actually create like chatbots, build agents, connect them to chatbots, but still like it's kind of hard to use them if you're not a developer. But I think they have some really cool stuff. So maybe others can build on this stuff and just makes it so much easier to build AI agents. They have like AI agent builder that has like a canvas where you can actually build AI agents. So it's pretty cool stuff. Yeah.
Absolutely. When you saw this, what was your initial thoughts on its impact and what it was going to mean for the industry?
Yeah. I felt like this is and let me share what they have so we can take a look while we talk about it.
Sure.
So let's take a look at the agent builder. Um, right. So this is the agent builder. Um, Maybe I will show you this one instead. So this is the agent builder, and basically you can like in your agent. This is kind of like an similar to interfaces where you see like on N8 and
Make.com.
Make or Zapier. Like you can actually build like workflows and you can build these workflows based on steps. And here I actually built this like single step agent, and this agent, and I just put the prompt here: search online about AI news, summarize what happens in the last 2 days. Basically, I could just do so much more, but the agent builder is like, you know, you can add an agent. Agent is basically it's kind of like a single worker in a workflow, and let me show you from their announcement. So this is kind of their announcement post, and here they have a customer service example, and this customer service example, like this customer support agent. Actually, there are like multiple agents: return agent, retention agent, information agent. So, for example, if the customer is asking about an information, it's redirected to this agent. If the customer is asking about if they are like trying to cancel their account or something, maybe it will try to retain those customers. And the return is more like, if they want to get refund or like return their whatever they bought, it's this agent. So, um, right in this case, there are like multiple agents going. It's like you can think of these agents like workers. Here you have
Yeah.
this agent that can classify the upcoming question, like whatever the question is asking. It can look at the question and to understand like what the user is trying to do. Kind of like when you would call a line, like call on the phone, and then you hear things like, okay, enter one if you want to, cancel your subscription, enter two to do so. It's kind of like that, but you don't have to do like enter one. You can just read what the customer is asking, and then here you can decide like exactly which agent should take care of this, and each agent has their own prompt, has their own data. They can use tools. So if we go back to the agent builder, I can basically enter the prompt here, provide instructions. I can decide on like how much time it should spend, like what kind of model it should use. But I can decide like which tools it should use. In this case, because I wanted to search online, basically I added the web search tool, and I can click on
Sure.
here. For example, I could use MCP, and we did an episode about that. I could use MCP to connect to any other provider. I could do like file search probably within a computer if this agent is being run inside like a environment, like a computer environment where it can actually go and do this, or maybe it can just look at the uploaded files or things like that. And it can actually run code as well. So basically, you can actually put your code here as well, and then you decide on the output format. Output format kind of depends on like what you want to do next. Like in this case, I have like 2 steps, and like just like basically it's probably in the news. But if I wanted to get the outputs and put it in like a JSON format so that I can actually pass it to like another agent, then I would use JSON. Basically, it's structured data. It's like glorified CSV. Uh, and widget is kind of interesting. Basically, you can actually create a widget and show it on that. For example, in this news, I could actually let me share the tab. I
Yeah.
just entered this prompt that says like, okay, create me a news widget, and basically it can list the news here. It can show it within the news. I was able to get it to work, like connected to it, but basically if it was connected, it would show it here. Um, and like and this is also fine. Like let me share the tab. Basically when I run that, it was able to give me like here are the most important add-on in these last 2 days. US clears large NVIDIA chip. EU launches 1 billion apply AI. Why it matters. Ongoing fallout between OpenAI and AMD, and so on. So basically, when I run in reasoning agent, it was able to search the web, find the most important things. It used reasoning, and then it created this list. And I was mentioning how like you could also use a widget, and I will show you an example widget here. Basically, this is a chatbot. No, this is more like a chat example. In this case, they are able to like you can use this chat kit to create like chat interfaces. So this is all very like developer like. So I don't think if you are like someone who is just who just wants to use it, you can use this. But it's more oriented towards developers. But just to show you like what's possible, they have this example chat kit. And let's say if I want to go to Japan, I enter Japan, and it's gonna do a search. Like so, they haven't. They probably created this using the agent builder to showcase this, but basically it went to Japan now. It's showing the country. Now I have like I completed one of the worlds. So basically, if I'm traveling all these worlds, all these countries, basically it can just give me information. But it's showing like what kind of things it can do. Basically, you can customize the page. So you are basically building apps with chat interfaces. I think that's the main use case at this point with this one. If we go back to this page here,
Yeah.
I was showing these examples, but let me see if there are any other screenshots. But here, there's a HubSpot example. HubSpot actually built this chatbot, and then here you can see like different things. These probably were built using the widget builder product as well. So this is definitely towards more towards developer audiences, more like if you're an enterprise, if you want to build a product on this, that's fine. But this is like, I still wouldn't consider this, a competitor to Jotform AI agents, for example, because in Jotform AI agents, you just create widgets, and then, you chatbot and customize, train it. Obviously, you don't have this much ability there. You can also connect it to, if you are a developer, if you build your own tools, you can connect to those tools. But it's made more towards audiences, no code audiences that can actually build the stuff. Let me share just from AI just as a comparison as
Yeah, for
well.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So here, so yeah, Jotform AI agents. You can create like these agents, and we just released the WordPress agent. So you can create like a phone agent, chatbot, voice agent, WhatsApp, Messenger, Instagram, like all kinds of places, Shopify, Gmail, right? But I think the main difference is that you don't need to like develop your own UI or like all this stuff. It's already ready with Jotform AI agents. And let me show you the basically the agent builder. This is the Jotform agent builder. In the Jotform agent builder, like you just pick like which of the uh, you know, UI you want to. So you don't have to build your own UI, but you can still customize your UI. If you don't want to offer voice option, you can just disable. If you don't want to have forms, right? You can just remove it here as well. Like it's highly customizable. You can customize the design as well, like just change the avatar and all kinds of style changes like this. So, and then all you have to do is like you can either link to your chatbot, or you can just copy this code and onto your web page, and you're ready to go. Or like if you're going to use the phone agent, you just buy a phone number and start using that phone number so people can connect to your agents. So I would say, there is no more options. And just, OpenAI Agent Builder is like on one end where you have all these like different developer tools and you can write code to kind of build these like more advanced levels, integrated like chatbots or agent products. But there are like products like Jotform AI agents where you can actually you have all these ready-made, and I would consider like N8N or like Zapier or Make in that end, like in the end of the Jotform AI agents end as well, because they're already ready, like they are ready to be used. Like you just click on buttons, give authentication, right? If you're using N8N, what do you do? Like you just connect it to your, let's say, if you wanted to look at your data in Gmail, or if you wanted to like connect to HubSpot or something, you just point and click, make a connection, and you're ready to go. So I think this is just creating like so much more opportunities, and it's a good thing, and I'm really excited about this.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited about it too, and I'll just kind of walk you through a couple of things that I'm seeing as well. That's kind of interesting. First of all, just obviously we're talking about the builder mainly in this episode, but I do think it's fair to kind of showcase the full announcement that they did make real quick. So, and how it maybe is priced, because people usually care about that. So, Agent Kit is the main announcement, where Builder was a part of it. So it's that visual canvas builder that Aytekin was showing. Then there's the registry, which is a central place for admins to manage how data and tools connect across OpenAI products. The chat kit is also a toolkit for embedding customizable chat-based experiences in your product. And this is interesting because ChatGPT as well as Claude released an agents SDK, right? And what this has allowed for people to do, and by the way, for those that don't know, it's kind of funny. I was talking about this on an interview we did. Most people don't know the acronyms. They just know sorry, they don't know what the words are in the acronym. So just so you know, software development kit is what SDK is. Because I was using the term like a person who doesn't know what they're talking about, and then not knowing that it meant software development kit, which I found funny. But altogether, how does this kind of work cohesively with things like MCPs? Because I think you showcased something that's pretty interesting. Building these agents out that have the ability to interact with MCPs is really powerful. There's pre-built connectors for sure, but I'm gonna give some examples that I think could be really helpful. That I'm gonna try to get my hands on to make my customer experience better for my clients. So just taking a look at the bottom right quick, because I do want to mention pricing. So starting today, ChatKit and the new eval capabilities are generally available to all developers. Agent Builder is available in beta, and Connector Registry is beginning its beta rollout with some API. It seems like basically all these tools are included with standard API model pricing. So it's pay as you go, right? So it's going to be pay as you go for anyone wondering, because I feel like it's not that obvious. But just to kind of showcase some of the higher level powers of this stuff, let's take a look at something like this customer service bot, right?
Sure.
Did I do it again? Did I switch accounts again? I did switch accounts again. Give me a second. Here it is. So this is the customer service bot the builder, the pre-default run one, right? You can have little notes for yourself of how it works, but this is an example of a kind of way that it will function. So we have this classification agent, right? I think it's nice you can change between the models. That's cool. So you can adjust the pricing and whatnot. They actually just released something in this that was a little bit under the radar, but it's GPT-5 Pro. Okay, wow. So that's a little bit of piece of news. And what does that mean? Who knows what that means? Let's actually give an answer to the question, because I am curious versus other models what that means versus other GPT models. Like it's announced, and it was kind of under the radar. That was mentioned, but nobody seems to care that it's in the API now, I think is the main thing. I guess it's, you know what? Actually, I take this back. So it wasn't in the API, but it was available in the available in app. So this guy right here, you see how it says now available in the API October 6th, a couple days ago. So it was not available previously, is what I'm getting at. So you guys know, this tool is now it's now available in the API. From that standpoint, because I don't know why. I actually am kind of confused why they would release a model like for a month and a half or 2 months and it not be available in the API, because GPT-5 across the board was, but regardless, that's kind of weird.
They have done that before as well. They usually do that because I think they have a culture of shipping quickly as possible. So sometimes they will just cut out features while they are shipping, so that and then they handle the rest later. And I think that's great, because like we get all those updates. Like if you try to make everything perfect and just everything, like just you will not ship anything. Sometimes you just have to go with what you have and improve things after the launch. And we also do that a lot. And it's just never perfect.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So just getting back to this for a second, talking about how this agent workflow can work, like what's I think really amazing about the different tools that it has, obviously web search is something, but and that's what I was mentioning before with ChatKit, how you can make your own different tools, in ChatKit, it's a toolkit for embedding customizable chat-based agent experiences in your product. So that was what it was referencing earlier. But I think the MCP stuff's really interesting, Aytekin. And the reason for that is we have an agent here that is a bunch of conditional logic. And say, for example, you're making an agent that's trying to solve a problem. Seems like you're determining whether there's a issue here or not. And then from there, there's multiple different agents that can solve problems. So you're an information agent for answering informational queries. You're a customer retention conversational agent whose goal is to prevent subscription cancellations, etc. Right? So like, for example, with the information agent, let's say Most people think about this stuff at like a website level. But I think what's going to be cool in general is if you're able to have the triggers for this product, right? The starting point for this product come from something like a question that your client asks you in Slack or something like that. With MCPs now, you can do such interesting things where you could like, sure, it's got its default ones and maybe it's not here. Like the ones that are here are the ones that it's like pre-built. But, you know, there's really cool tools out there that have made MCPs, like I think of Slack. I think as well of a lot of different things here from an MCP standpoint, where maybe you have a client that's confused about an invoice and you invoice via Stripe. Maybe you have a client that's confused about an invoice and you use PayPal. Maybe they're confused about where a file is that they're asking about and you manage files in Google Drive. Maybe they're confused about your next booking link, the next day that you're available to book, and you use Google Calendar. Maybe they're confused about a previous conversation you had, and you can utilize just the server base, right? And you can add like for example, Jotform's not here,
Yeah.
right? But you could, if they have a question about like, hey, I want to fill out this form to make some content, like, because how I work is like people, if they have a request, they'll fill out a form. You know, I can access a list of different forms we have and determine which one makes sense based off of their request. These are the types of little things that I think the MCP capability, I've opened my eyes to recently, that it's actually a lot deeper and better than I had considered. Because it's like the AI's ability. I would say for MCPs, practically speaking, it's like giving your AI access to the entire list of capabilities in a API endpoint list and having it be able to access everything all at once and parse things out for itself. So if you just say connect it to, it's like what I think we probably always wanted integrations to be. You know what I mean? Like that's what I've always wanted to be. Like I give it access to the thing and it figures it out, not me have to map thing. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
that's what I think.
Figured it out.
Cool.
You figured out like what to do. Here you got the access. It's like, you know, if you have like a real assistant, hey, here's my calendar, do what you want to do. Go set up appointments for me. Do all that.
Exactly. Thank you. Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. It's that's why it's agentic, because it can reason, and you give it complete access to something rather than like, I want you to be able to respond to emails coming in. No, I want you to be able to figure out if an email's coming in. What does that mean? What should I do? And then this gives you the conditional.
You don't have to tell it, because MCP kind of knows like what's available, how to do those things. MCP is kind of gives the AI ability to talk to other services. And it's just much better than APIs, because APIs usually don't have those kind of documentations. They miss documentations, but MCP already includes the documentation. So it's really exciting stuff. And in that example, for example, the customer service, right? It needs to provide refund, right? How does it provide refund? If it's like Stripe, right? It could just use a Stripe MCP connection to just make the refund. The agent can handle that as well, like just because it has the access to be able to do those things as well. So just MCP tools, they just give agents so much ability, not just answer questions. And this also reminds me, like, this agent builder is also a big competitor to products like N8N, Make, or Zapier. And I know that you use them heavily. I know that like your whole world is like, you know, kind of automated using those products. So I have a question for you. Would you actually use the agent kit or agent builder instead of these products for your automations?
Well, I'll tell you what, I think as you're asking me the question, I was trying to think of examples of what I could do to make it happen, because like I showcased, there's a lot of I can just
you have right now, like could you replace it with this?
Yeah, I mean, this is a good question, because if I take a look at just like the capabilities of tools, yeah, anything that's kind of there in regards to the MCP server capability, I would think is a reasonable thing to replace it with. Like, a big problem I run into sometimes is its specifics of things. Like, if I could connect the Notion MCP to this, I think I would use this very heavily for things like...
go to server, type mcp.notion.com.
Yeah, if I go to server, yeah, exactly. I'd get MCP Notion. I know we went
you don't
through
have to
this.
do it right now, but
But exactly. Like, I would be able to, in my opinion, to make some changes to workflows I have where I feel like I'm wasting a lot of automation credits. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's pretty annoying doing things that are very human-like at scale with the content calendar management type stuff, where like I feel like I could give it MCP access and be like, tell an agent like, hey, I want you to reorganize the list of content and make sure that the content number order, because like we number every piece of content, like first thing we make to the last thing. And little things like that are actually really hard to automate. You know, when like a publish date moves, changing the content number relative to what's around it, right? And I have implemented workflows in make.com that have ChatGPT in there, for example, that do things like parse out the information so that it then can make the change. Now, what's interesting about this is that MCP itself isn't going to cost me money. Well, the only thing that's going to cost me money here is the tokens from ChatGPT. And if essentially I'm already using that level of tokens in my automation process because of the fact that I have to put OpenAI modules in there to solve complex questions, I might as well just use this. So,
right?
Seriously.
You're paying for NA10 or Make, and then you're also paying for OpenAI, ChatGPT. Why pay twice? Just use this.
Exactly. I agree.
And this one also has one other advantage, and that's the chat interface. So basically, you have NA10, but in addition to NA10, you also have a chat interface where you can actually talk to your automations and try your automations, improve them. So there are some advantages, but I think the main problem with this one is like all those integrations, they're probably not there yet. And the other thing is like, it's never like when a company is doing everything, like if you think about it, OpenAI, their priority is ChatGPT, right? Because they earn, they're living from ChatGPT or like, investors as well. But a company like Zapier or Make or NA10, they earn their bread from just that product. So their product is like much more higher level quality. And this one, like, I don't expect this to be really as that high quality as the other ones because, like, they can only put so much resources in this product. Similarly, like Google actually has like a Forms product, right? Google Forms.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Jotform has like 700 employees. Like we are all working on a single product, right? And Google actually has like, I mean, we have multiple products a bit, like, but Google doesn't care. Like, Google, headquarters of Google, I don't think they talk about Google Forms. And at Jotform, we are always talking about Jotform Forms because that's our main product. And because like we are constantly thinking about it, improving it, advancing it. And so the same way I would expect these companies to evolve and competition is good. With higher competition, they have to do more. So I don't expect them to go away. I think they're great. They're also taking advantage of MCP, so their integrations are getting even better with MCP. So I think it's win-win for everyone.
This kind of goes back to the theory that a lot of the people I'm interviewing seem to have, which is that there's a list of different tools that you're using right now that OpenAI is essentially, and Claude and Perplexity are attempting to make it the hub and like the source of everything. And then you can branch out to the different micro tools that do a great job. Like I mentioned, Slack, Notion, etc. They're not going to replace like a lot of the different tools that exist, but they might be the knowledge hub or the ecosystem base, right? And this is another step in that direction, I think, when you're making little agents that are able to connect to everything. You know, like if I'm thinking right now, the second I saw this, I was like, I've been considering when somebody asks a question of me like, hey, what's the status of XYZ topic client work wise? You know, Notion MCP it, I think is a fair response. Just like, hey, you know, just have the agent kind of sort out when there's things that need to get escalated, and escalated to who. And the nice thing about MCPs is it just makes it a lot easier than having to manually map that stuff out. And this would make it an integral part of that'd be agentic, essentially, because that would be replacing a person who's, you know, important in the fact that they're keeping clients happy and having quick responses. But by basically making an agent ready to respond, and all I need is a human in the loop, yes, no approval, I'd be putting myself in a way better spot for success than like always relying on a person's ability to respond quickly and their ability to look stuff up accurately. Because honestly, if MCPs continue to be good like this with high levels of reasoning, being able to find the facts of the situation is going to be a lot better done by AI anyways, I think, rather than people.
Yeah. I think I was thinking about another reason why you shouldn't just abandon, you know, NA10 or Jotform AI agents for this. Just, you know, the same way how like, you know, like the Google, you know, Google Forms is not priority. Like OpenAI has been releasing all these different kinds of things. Like, do you remember custom GPTs? Do you
I do.
remember tasks? Right? There's just like so many things, and none of them they actually like they were big when they released it, and we covered them as well, right?
Yeah, but I
But
feel like they've kind of,
they didn't invest further on them because it's just like it's like kind of like they want to make news. It's great. They probably have like dedicated teams, but they probably don't put like that much resources in those products. Maybe a single small dedicated team working on them, but they're not advanced at all. Like we don't see any improvements on them over a long time. And then they just release this not new shiny thing. And then my worry would be like, okay, I moved from you know, NA10 to
or make, yeah.
right, OpenAI agent builder, and then like they don't improve it over time.
They don't
Then
care
you know,
about it at all. Yeah.
yeah, because
That's a definite
it's not
concern for
priority.
me. No, that's a definite concern for me. I think that's fair. Like I would respect, like I use relevance a lot, right? And like my initial thought for this is like, well, I can save on make.com operations by utilizing a relevance like module inside of make. So it just runs that once, and that has connection to MCPs and stuff. And that to me is more safe than the big company, because I'm like, well, I know relevance is trying to become the premium AI agent company. So it's a fair point you bring up. It's kind of concerning as like a user of this product. Like, what do I know that they're going to care about? Because the model is the only thing I've seen consistently that they have attempted to improve.
Yeah. And still, it's pretty cool. Yeah, you should definitely check it out. You should play with it, and it's just available for free. We live in such a great age. Everything is available for free. Go and play with it, and it's so much fun. Definitely, I
Yes,
enjoyed
sir.
you know, playing with it.
All right. Well, with that being said, I think we pretty much covered everything. Do you have anything else to say about it?
Yeah, it's exciting times always with AI.
Yes, it is. All right. With that being said, thank you so much, Aytekin, for being on the show. And thank you, everyone, for listening to this episode or watching it. If you did like it, make sure to leave us a like and subscribe on YouTube. And do not forget to leave us podcast reviews on Apple's Podcasts and Spotify. We just reached a new weekly high and monthly high on those platforms. So kudos to everybody for listening, watching, and enjoying us gab on about these different tools and interviewing people that are really, really cool. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.